What I want to do is say something about Darrell Brooks that'll be controversial, I guess, because it's um it's kind of in his favor. And I know he's a monster, right? Like he killed a bunch of people, kids. He's a fucking awful, disgusting human being. And frankly, I wouldn't care if he fell out of a fucking airplane and landed on a bed of nails and died, right? Like that. I mean, whatever. He's the world would be better off without a Darrell Brooks. But that being said, his case is kind of interesting because two things. One, do you see how much fucking work it takes to represent yourself in court? It's crazy. You have a right, by the way, an unrestricted right to represent yourself in court. But as all unrestricted rights go, it's restricted. First, you have to be quote unquote competent. I don't know why you have to be competent. I get the theory behind it. Like I get the principle behind being competent. So the idea is this: if the government allows you to represent yourself, but you're literally categorized as mentally handicapped or retarded, right? Like so you're like a below 75 IQ person. You have no idea what's actually going on, and you have an IQ that is an impairment to your ability to understand your current surroundings. Then it kind of looks like the government might exploit that, and therefore it's like a hedge against the exploitation. But I naturally resist the government hedging their exploitation. Like I resist that idea because it says that a citizen at some point is not sufficient to make their own path. And I may think the path is stupid and I may think there's a better way to go, but that's not my decision, right? Like that's not my choice to step in on someone's desire to do whatever. Like if they want to go represent themselves, like go represent yourself. I don't fucking care. I think it's a bad move, but hey, like if you think that you're the advocate for you, go be you. I mean, if we didn't do this, if we didn't allow that, sovereign citizens would never have funny videos on the internet, and that'd be a damn shame. So that's one problem I have, is just how fucking hard it is to represent yourself in court. Like he had to go through 4 psychological examinations, psychiatric, I guess, examinations. And he had to go through several hearings to verify that he would represent himself, that he was competent to do so. And he had a deadline on paperwork where it said, like, if you want to represent yourself, you have to file all of this paperwork by this deadline, which is like, what if in the middle of the case I say, no, fuck you, I'm firing these people? Like suddenly you're going to give me a deadline? No. What are we doing? And there are cases where judges, when you try and fire your attorney, the judge will say, no, the attorney does not have permission to withdraw from this court and will continue representing you. That happens. I don't think that that's right. I think we have a 6th Amendment right to represent ourselves or to whatever representation we want. And this comes to my second point. And this actually really does bother me in his case. He cannot have any representation if he waives his right to representation, which is weird because he's not actually waiving his right to representation. He's engaging his right to represent himself. He can't have a lawyer sitting there giving him advice. Like maybe he just hires a lawyer to sit there and help him out with rules or whatever. Nope. Can't do it. He can't have any representation. You either take the state public defenders, you hire a private attorney to fully represent you, or you represent yourself alone. No co-counsel, no advisor, no person sitting next to you to just say, hey, what about this? Don't forget that. You forgot this. You want to ask this question? Nobody. That bothers the shit out of me, actually. Like, why can't... Not that I wouldn't, but why can't someone sit down and represent themselves and have an advisor there to help them out? Like, why is that against the rules? That doesn't make any sense. So that pisses me off. And again, this guy should be lit on fire. Like, he should be like, we should pretend he's a monk freeing Tibet or whatever. Like, just, I don't care. Like, fuck him. It's wild. So he's going to be representing himself. And it's going to be funny. And to the people who are curious, Andrew Branca has said that I think he would like to cover this case if I'm going to cover it. It starts on Monday. I plan on covering it. I have an issue on Thursday specifically. I taught today. I also teach this coming Thursday that I'm going to try and work around in some way. I don't teach until 2, so I could do most of the day. Maybe I could have someone fill in and finish up. I'm not sure. I'm going to work on that. But this is a trial I would love to stream because I think it's going to be ripe with entertainment. Like, I think it'll be tender and juicy. And if we squeeze it a little bit, we'll get a lot of comedy out of it. You've got basically a sovereign citizen guy. Can you imagine? I wasn't driving. I was traveling in the car that happened to run over the children as like a defense. Like, where's it going to go? I don't know. But I think it'll be a good trial to cover. And so I'm going to make the effort to do that. Legal Vices is in as well, he says, which is great. So Monday is voir dire. That is jury selection. That's when it starts. I plan on covering it. I got to talk to Lady Rackets over the weekend and verify. But I think she's recovered enough to that I don't have to do any driving during the week, except on Thursday, where I will be teaching. But we'll come up with a solution for Thursday to do so. It Stinks says your sick obsession with olives marks that you want to hurt people. Wait, I hate olives. Who's obsessed with it? Gross. Disgusting. But yeah, it looks like it will be televised. I mean, all the hearings have been televised so far. I think this one's going to be televised. I'll be watching, and I think Mr. Branca and Mr. Vices will be joining me. And of course, other people will be there. Lady R can stream on Thursday instead of me. I would love it. I think, God, you guys have no idea. She's so fucking funny to me. Like, she cracks me up all the time. I don't know if she cracks other people up because, like, there's the the baseline general rule that women aren't funny. But this lady, like, she makes me laugh in ridiculous ways. But I would love to have her do it. But she teaches this year. The slacker's making up for lost time. She's teaching 3 groups. I only teach 1. And so she's teaching 3 groups at our homeschool co-op. So she has way more obligation than I do now.